But first off, let's talk about the hobby. Let's talk about Bowman Chrome, some of the hottest names that have been coming out of that set since it's been open over the last week. And Doug, who are some of those names that people are chasing? I know that people were a little bit worrisome about maybe the quality of players, the quality of names in this list, but who are some of the guys that guys are chasing so far?
Yeah, I mean, without minor league baseball, as we mentioned last week, it was kind of tough to decide who's going to be the big names coming out of this set. And, it's beginning to kind of look a little bit like the 2016 Bowman Chrome, where we didn't know much about Soto. We didn't know much about Tatis other than his name. And you got some big names that are emerging. That first name, that first big hit that people are latching onto early is Bayron Lora for the Rangers. So a guy seems to be a really big power guy. He actually was good enough that that Topps put him in Bowman Transcendent, which is kind of technically his first auto, but the first Bowman will always hold the candle higher than anything else. So his most sought after card will be this 2020 Bowman Chrome version, and he's got all the colors. As you can see here, somebody had a gold that had a $5,000 or best offer, and it looks like it got picked off on eBay already. The Rangers really are the powerhouse if you can try to land them in a random or buy them outright. I know they're going to be pretty pricey because they have Luis Angel Acuna as well, and you may recognize the name. That's
Sounds
because
familiar.
That's because it's his brother. So I think based on name alone, the talent in the same genes is already building the hype on him. And you can see a recent base auto pushing $300 here, and colors going for even more. And then you got Luis Matos for the Giants, number 9 ranked prospect for the Giants, who's $150 for a base auto ain't too shabby. A lot of people believe in him, and the Giants, maybe the Giants turning this around. They're still, kind of hanging in there on that last playoff spot for this year. So other names to note, Lewin Diaz is a good one, and the Eric Pena for the Royals is another name to note. But we've been doing Bowman Chrome. I did 10 cases on Friday, and Conrad did a bunch throughout the weekend, and we've got a bunch more on the schedule for this week. So if you want to get your fill on Bowman Chrome, go to mojobreak.com to jump into one of those breaks.
And as we talked a little bit about last week's episode, there are a lot of guys like Lewin Diaz who are playing in the majors right now almost because they have to. There's nowhere else for them to play, where they're too good for that taxi squad, but maybe just not quite good enough for a major league squad. But again, this is such a crazy season with so many players, no minor league season, so many players with nowhere to play. So there is the potential here, even with just a week to go in the regular season, that a lot of these guys could increase their value. And a guy like Diaz specifically, Marlins look like they're pretty much set for a postseason spot. And their fate is in their hands right now. So that could be very interesting to see some of these guys who would, in a regular year, be playing in AA, AAA ball, not seeing any postseason play. This year could see that value skyrocket.
Absolutely.
That'd be really interesting to see. And one more about Acuna. I do always feel like there's seldom been two brothers playing in the game at the same time who are equally as good as each other,
Sure.
So I would love to see it.
What do you mean Billy Ripken wasn't as good as Cal?
Yeah, just a shade under. I'm trying to think who would be, maybe the Giles brothers. Remember Marcus and Brian Giles? They were about, Brian was probably the better of the two, but I remember Marcus had some good years.
Maybe Yadier and Benji?
The Molinas, yeah. Probably the Molinas catching legacy. Yachty is probably the best of the group. I think a future Hall of Famer. But, yeah, it's always like one guy. I think that you have the Seager brothers right now. That's pretty even, I would say. But it will be interesting to see if Acuna can break out of that, or if he's just going to be clouded in the shadow of his brother, who has been just on a tear.
Well, hopefully he hustles out fly balls, so... That's kind of one of the drawbacks to Ronald Acuna.
If you're dripping in the swag, it's all good.
Yeah, you got to practice.
Acuna's got it, man. He does. He's fun to watch. He's been really fun.
You do have to practice your home run trot, even if it sometimes bounces off the wall.
Absolutely.